Hey RC people, Tony here, CCxRC, and we've got another box here on the bench from GearBest. Yes, we've had a lot of them come in recently, some that I've bought, some that they've sent me. We've got some other stuff though coming your way as well, like the unboxing of this Blade Conspiracy quadcopter drone, whatever you want to call it. So that'll be exciting new stuff that's coming to the channel, as well as the GearBest things that you've seen recently. But what do we've got here? We've got the Death Adder. It's the SST 1933, and it's their hammer car, which they do one box for all of these different vehicles that are listed across the bottom right here. Mine's the furthest one at the very end here. And we're going to open up this box and show you what it looks like right after the break. All right. Here it is, the hammer. Please, hammer, don't hurt them. Get this on out. I already cut the zip ties. I'd quickly opened the box before, just so I could do that. Got a couple of other packages in here we're going to look at really quickly before we move on. Things like our controller. Black and orange, super vintage looking with the the coloring and the patterns here. Flip this up, we've got a whole bunch of different dials. Our on switch here. What do we've got? We've got reverse, a couple of reverses. One's probably throttle, one is probably steering, and you have steering trim, throttle trim, and then your steering, basically the amount of steering that you have here. So the rate that your steering is at. So it takes 8 batteries, which is quite a lot actually anymore these days for a transmitter. So hopefully we'll have 8 of them in the house. If not, I'll have to stop at the store and pick some up. But little stubby antenna on the top, rubber grip, looks like a wheel here. But yeah, that'll work. We've got our bind plug and an antenna tube here, piece of plastic, and instructions for our transmitter. That looks like it. Oh, underneath here we've got some more stuff. Would have missed it. So our instruction manual, you've got some extra body clips and little plastic spacers or rubber spacers here, and it looks like some metal spacers. I'm not sure what those will be for, but here it's our Shortcourse and Hummer RTR that they call the hammer, probably for copyright reasons. That looks like all of it there. And then what do we have over here in this box number 2? Okay, so we have another, basically a Trickle Charger that uses your balance leads. And instructions. Let's see if there's, okay, so we've got our power cable in here for it. It's an EU plug, again, EU to US adapters are very good thing when you're ordering from GearBest. And here's our B3 AC input for 2S or 3S balance charging for Lipos. So pretty basic stuff. It'll take a while to charge if you use that as your main charger. Take a couple hours the way that it charges over the balance lead, but let's push the truck in here. Alright, there it is. Seems to move alright. A little tire rub there. Okay, that's the first thing I'm noticing, is that on any impact these wheel wells seem to hit right on the tires. There. So that's a little bit problematic on a heavy landing, so we may have to just kind of trim out these flares here a bit. Maybe not. Maybe if it's straight down it's not too bad. I'm not actually getting the rubbing now as bad as I was, so we'll have to see. Maybe we'll run it like this and then we'll see if it needs to be trimmed out. I'll make sure I have scissors with me and I can trim it out on the track. So we'll take off the body here, get a quick look at it. It's actually pretty thick body. You see the decals that they put on here, Hammer H2, a little dusty. but some of the stickers aren't put on super great. But it'll do. I mean, it's a body. This window's crooked, things like that. So a little bit of attention to detail loss, probably just in the production line for trying to have speed. But here is the truck. Let's take a look at it. Let's start with our motor. So this is a 3300 kV brushless motor. You see it's got a little aluminum heat sink here on it. Everything again is pretty dusty on this. Slip that back on. It's a pretty small can size. You can see it's got an aluminum chassis underneath here. We've got our ESC, which is kind of not stuck on there super great. I'm going to put a little bit more tape on that. I mean, it's held in place by this little brace here, but it looks like the only spot that there's tape is up in this front right corner. So we'll just get some more tape under there to hold that in place. This is waterproof. It looks like a hobby wing. It's got the little waterproof on-off switch here. So we'll move on up forward in the car. You can see your turnbuckles here are adjustable. Our suspension in the front, we've got plastic reservoirs, but you've got aluminum pieces around that. It feels alright. Everything kind of bounces alright. Back up into spot. So these are oil filled. I don't know what oil they're using, but you can see here they've got an aluminum shock tower. It's pretty small, and these just pop on and off with these shocks here. As you can see, they'll just pop on and off of these ball cups, which is probably something I wish that they'd have maybe done with the Bison and the JLB, because of the way that I've been breaking that metal screw that runs through there. So front bumper, the plastic seems a little bit flimsy, but maybe that's good. Maybe it'll allow it to absorb impact and not break. But you've got plastic throughout here at your arms. It's a short course truck, so these aren't the beefiest arms I've ever seen. They're kind of thin, but they are thick top to bottom, so that's pretty nice. We've got our servo here. It's completely unmarked. It's got a servo saver, and then you've got this kind of a metal adjustment here for your servo. Your steel drive shaft runs in here underneath the receiver that's tucked inside of this box on the top here. We've got our battery tray on the side, our antenna, which is what the little plastic antenna tube is for, is to hold this in place. And look at our wheels here. The hexes on these. The glue job's not great on the tires all the way around. They're kind of a little bit messy, but I do like the look of the rims that they've put on here. Go to the back, the rear back. Everything looks alright. So you've got your center diff here in the middle, and you've got front and rear differentials, and the shocks and the shock tower in the back are the exact same as in the front. So in the back here, your links are not adjustable for like your camber or that. Maybe if you took this off, you could untwist it a little bit to change that, but it's not as easy as up in the front, even though everything is pretty much an exact mirror, even down to the arms that are present here. So that would have been a nice thing, would be to have these be steel and be able to adjust them. But overall it's alright. Get a look here at the back bumper. And then we'll take out the battery here and see what is included. So you've got a big pack. It looks like it'd be a 5,000 mAh, but it's only 2,700 milliamp hour 2S battery, and this is a Lipo. So it's a big case for a little battery, which is probably because they're trying to make it fit snug into this compartment here, knowing that if you do change out your batteries with some of your own, that you do have a good sized compartment here at least, that you can put your real 2S 5000 milliamp hour batteries into, and Velcro tie downs, which I love. I mean, overall, I'm looking at it, I'm not seeing anything that's too crazy. You can pop this, just use a little pin here at the top, they pop off, and you can see our SST receiver, bind channel 3, so it's 1, 2, 3 channel. Okay guys, I'll be honest, I really like the looks of this truck. Now, I will say that it is a almost exact copy of a Traxxas Dakar or the Gordini that they've got out, that bright orange Traxxas. It's a little different in that this is more styled towards being a Hummer, but it gets that idea of the short course truck with the tall body and all of that. So it does look very similar in that aspect. I do like the gunmetal gray, the blacked out rims. You know, I wish it didn't say Hammer on it, but you know, that's something. You can remove stickers and put other stickers on. So this is definitely something we're going to get out on the track for you guys. We're going to give it some runs and see how it does. Overall, it feels like it's got a pretty solid build. I haven't shown you the underside yet. There's the aluminum chassis, which is really nice. Overall, this thing feels good. Everything seems to be assembled pretty well on mine. The tires feel a little bit not great. I mean, they're not race track tires, so they're probably not going to handle super great on the track, but we're going to give it a run anyway and see. These probably handle better on road and just for normal bashing in grass and whatever. So we'll run it through different paces, but I really want to see how it handles on a track compared to, say, like my low C10, and just knowing how that runs and seeing how this handles, how responsive it is, how it handles jumps and things like that. And we'll be back for you guys with the run videos. We'll be back for you with a review on this afterward, just taking a look at it, because there's a lot of blacked out parts in here that you don't know exactly what the motor is. Again, it's a shortened size can, but it says it's 3300 kV on their site. I don't know exactly because it's not stamped on here. I don't know any details about the servo, and so there's a lot that I don't know going into running this for the first time. I'm hoping that it's quality stuff and that it's going to, you know, handle pretty well, but you just never know. So that's what we're here for, to give you guys kind of a review on these so that you'll know what you're getting if you do decide to purchase this. But overall, for about $185, $190 with a brushless system in it as a short course truck, again, you can change the body if you want to make it look more like a race truck pretty easily. So we'll let you know what we think of this in just a few days. Alright, so that's it for us here with the SST 1933 Hammer Car H2. We're out, guys. Peace. Have fun RCing, and we'll catch you next time.